Peace. Welcome to the YouTube live book reading of The African Origin of Civilization, Myth or Reality by Dr. CHEIKH, translated and edited by Mercer Cook. Divine risings and highest heart love to all of you. This is the 59th reading of this book. Chapter 13 is where we pick up in the second to last reading of this magnificent, inspiring book. Live from the light here in LA. Peace, YouTube. Yeah, it's a special, honorable first day of the week. And so it's time to get it done. You know, it's just like we've done so much great work. Let's finish out strong. All right, I'll show you how to do it. Here we go. Top of page 264 is where we pick up at a new section. Extent of the Negro substratum of humanity. Again, this is chapter 13, Evolution of the Black World. All right. Very deep. Master Crystal. Here we go. Extent of the Negro substratum of humanity. The Negroid human substratum is as extensive as it is durable. Haddon shows how Elliott Smith and Sergey identified that substratum. Concerning Sergey's Euro-African race, he writes, two variants may be noted. One, with wavy hair, large measurements, and strong physique. Two, with rather close curly hair, prognatism, and smaller measurements. This type, with almost Negro characters, may be connected with the Grimaldi type. This type has been described by Sergey Giffrida Ruggeria and by Flora, who found in the Pylimium and other districts of South Wales. It has been noted among the living in Algeria, Somaliland, North Abyssinia, Egypt, North Italy, Sardinia, North Portugal, Trazos or Tres Montes, and Spain, west of Pyrenees, and other scattered places in Europe. It is evidently a very ancient type that has persisted in out-of-the-way spots. Similarly, Elliott Smith finds the type of his brown race among the ancient Neolithic inhabitants of British Isles, France, on both shores of the Mediterranean, and Proto-Libyans, ancient and modern Egyptian, Nubians, Beja, Danakil, Hadonta, or Hadendoa, Abyssinians, Gala, Somali, throughout the Arabian Peninsula, on the coast of the Persian Gulf, southern Persia, the land of Sumer, Mesopotamia, Syria, the coastal regions of Asia Minor, Anoa in Turkestan, and among the early Indonesians. Haddon writes as follows about North Africa. Taking North Africa is a whole. There seems little no doubt that the substratum of the population is allied to the Hamite or Ethiopian, with dark skin, fine face, and soft hair. This is overlaid by a stratum of Luciderm Mediterraneans. Quoting below and Beloy, Furran states that North Africa was inhabited by two races during the Upper Paleolithic, one which Iberio-Mauritian man of Mecta El Arabe in Tunisia presented affinities with Cro-Magnon man. The race probably occupied only the coast until without penetrating the interior. It gradually diminished in number and partially survived into the Neolithic. Present day Gaunches and the Canaries could be its last survivors. The other race was Negroid and lived in the Capsian. They appear to be Mediterranean prototypes, often showing Negro characteristics. Top of page 265. During the same Capesian period, another Negroid race called Natufian by Miss Garrow lived in Palestine. Perhaps the Natufian was the distant ancestor of the Canaanite, but prudence compels us not to affirm this categorically. The round-headed men in the Saharan cave drawings, observed and described by Lahote, closely resemble the round-headed man in the famous fresco on the Kogel Rock, or Catalonia from the Magdalenian age. The sorcerer dancing in the grotto of the Three Brothers, south of France, and the one of Athvalingskop, Orange Free State, South Africa, present curious similarities which have already been noted. All of these are evidence that the Negroid substratum of humanity is very extensive and durable. In certain parts of Western Asia, southern India, southern Persia, and ancient Elam, southern Arabia, Phoenicia, Canaan or Canaan land, etc. It has lasted until the historical epic. Peace, YouTube. What's going on? Much love. Divine rising. Happy days and nights. What a beautiful rose colored cloud we went to last night, right? Much love. We're in the second to last reading now, and man, we're flying through. I'm so grateful and for being able to bring and read to you this information. I mean, you see, this is the beginning. And it says early history of humanity, evolution of the black world. There's just so many different skin tones and, you know, tribals and clans. And we've all been mixed up. And, and it's a beautiful thing, really, to see it all come together, just like reading a book until the end. Much love. Thank you for being here and reading books with us. All right. Despite this abundance of archaeological facts, authentic, uh, authentically attesting the interiority of Negroids, some scientists and researchers continue to pose the problem in unexpected fashion. Apropos the Palestinian Mesolithic Foreign reports. The caves of El Arik El Amar produced 132 individuals for Miss Garrett. All these Natufians share the same physical type, completely different from that of earlier Palestinians. They are short, about 160 centimeters, and dolichocephalic. They were probably Cro-Magnoid Mediterranean, presenting certain Negroid characteristics attributable to crossbreeding. These notions about crossbreeding are all the more interesting because one finds Negroids in Western Europe and Africa, but still no true Negroes. That was the passage. All right. The Natufian straddled the Mesolithic and Neolithic about the sixth millennium. After Furan and Cornavin supports the same point of view on the genesis of the Negro world, Homo sapiens did not definitely appear until the Upper Gamblean. He was of the Cro-Magnoid type, the Mekta man, the Kenyan man of the Capsian. At that point, he was only slightly differentiated and showed no Negroid characteristics. He practiced the blade industries of the Maghreb, North Africa, the East Africa, Capsian of the Maghreb, Capsian of Kenya. Mm. These two authors and all who belong to their school would thus like to demonstrate, despite the facts, that the Negro did not appear on the earth until about the sixth millennia. Consequently, their thesis is supported only by a difficult, worrisome, unscientific argumentation. Mm. Imagination cannot replace the facts. Only in your world, but then you still have to go outside and see the reality. And so that's what traveling has done for me. I've seen people that look like me in every sector of the world I went. And it's a beautiful thing, it really is. Whether I was in Africa or whether in America, you see native people everywhere. Top of page 266. According to Farron's conclusions, the Natufian, a cross between white and black, probably antedated his Negro ancestor who would still not have been born by the 6th millennia BCE. And the author finds these notions interesting. For his part, Cornavin apparently forgets that the most distinguished prehistorians and anthropologists nowadays, Abby Brule, Professor Amaraberg, Dr. Leakey, etc., consider Africa the cradle of humanity. Right. It all come from Africa. Page 266. It's reaffirmed for all of you. Reading along in the middle. There it is. 1967. The African origin of civilization, myth, or reality by the great Dr. CHEIKH ANTA. We're in the 13th chapter, second to last read. Peace and highest heart love. Thank you for the likes and subs. We're pushing towards 700 on this peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. I'm Master Fitness Trainer Uriel Neville Riley. You're seeing this live. It will be put in a playlist with all the other books. You can just tap on the playlist book and it'll read the entire book for you. All right. It's a free gift and service. Hi, it's Heart Love. Thank you so much. Divine Days and Nights. All right. The middle of page 266. Here we go. Mhm. Africa has known the Paleolithic, which was prolonged into the Capsian, corresponding to the Soltrian and European Magdalenian in archaeological succession. Certain authors suppose that, in general, a time gap must elapse between corresponding European and African archaeological periods. It is difficult to square this with the almost certain fact that the Aurignacians came from Africa and were Negroids. Aurignacian culture was brought into Western Europe from North Africa by new types of men. And these are and all subsequent races and their cultures have been termed neanthropic. Usually, all these races are grouped under the designation of Homo sapiens of Linnaeus. We know that the Aurignacians were superior in every way to the old Neanderthal group of men whom they conquered and probably exterminated. Cornevin seems to ignore the depth of morphological differences that exist between the black and the white when he dates these differences back to an antiquity as recent as the 11th millennium BCE. By so doing, he opposes the one hypothesis at the disposal of the scholars to confer upon. Mm-hmm. Mm, mm, mm. Let me read this sentence again. By so doing, he opposes the one hypothesis at the disposal of the scholars to confer upon the whites an antiquity equal to that of the blacks. He errs most regrettably in claiming that the Asilar man looks more like the Cro-Magnoid European of Grimaldi and the Bushmen than like modern blacks. By definition, the Grimaldi Negroid is not Cro-Magnoid, and he is the only one of the Asilar man could possibly resemble. He shares no feature with the so-called Cro-Magnon man who lived later in the same cave and is the prototype of the white race, as the Negroid is the prototype of the black race. Top of page 267. Thank you so much. Yes, this is the anthropological part of it because now we're talking about evolution of humanity. And so he's just dropping these gems. And I know the vocabulary is very steep. I will put a brief vocabulary in the description when it's complete uploading. So, fine days and nights. Yeah, we're almost complete this book. We have one more reading, and then we completed. And I'm gonna, roll out as always on the last reading something special. Yeah, you're getting to see the second to last reading live. Thank you for being here. Hi, it's Heart Love. All right, top of page 267. There is also good reason to point out that the similarities too often cited between the Grimaldi Negroid and the Bushman are tenacious. and stem more from the interpretation of the Aurignacian art than from actual archaeological measurements. That art reveals a steatopigia, steatopigia, or steatotypic, pigic, female type. That's one of the vocabulary words. Steatopigic is. All right. Mhm. This morphological feature has been made a monopoly of the Bushmen and Hottentots since Cuvier's studies on the Hottentot Venus at the Musée de l'Homme in Paris. The almost exclusive relationship between these races and the Grimaldi Negroes has been claimed, but the morphological characteristics of the Steatopigia included, which seem common to Hottentots and Bushmen, are found to be generally true of all Negroes. We have only to read the following text. We have only to read the following text. In the middle of page 267. As for me, I have been much impressed by the resemblance between the Grimaldi Negroids and the Bushman Hottentot population of South Africa. The comparisons I have been able to form, the comparisons I have been able to make from the elements at my disposal, especially from the skeleton of the Hottentot Venus, have led me to observe, for example, the same dolichocephaly, the same prognathism, and the same platerina or platerine, the same wide facial development, the same form of the mandible, the same macrodontism, and the only difference lie in the stature and perhaps the height of the skull. Oh, woo! Middle of page 267. None of the none of the features cited in that passage distinguishes Bushmen from other Negroes. The slope of the pelvis and the steatopigia, which seems to be its corollary, exist in almost all Black races, but one can maintain with assurance that the morphological characteristic derives from a deformation of the spinal column at the level of the hips from transporting the baby, for it is very ancient and dates back to the Upper Paleolithic. See figure 48. We have those figures coming up at the end of this chapter. So thank you so much for being here. Awesome. Hi, it's Heart Love. Yeah, this is the peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. So it's all a book reading and, free for the people. And I love shining this light on material. We've read some massively long books, and this is one of them. We're about to complete another one, showing you how to do it. We can do it. We always can do it. Hi, it's Heart Love. Thank you. Peace, peace. Yeah, this is a big vocabulary. I know. It does make some people's heads hurt. What? That's what freedom is about. You'll get it. Master our world. Master our world and create a world of peace. You know, I can just sit here all day if I want, read books, play instruments, write poetry, draw, cook. You can do what you want when you're really free. See, and that's what this channel shows you. Wow, he does whatever he wants. And look how he just grows and manifests. Look how he helps people. Look how he is in tune with nature and balance. Well, to the people that are unbalanced, this really upsets them, especially reading high level information with vocabulary that they can't understand. Yeah. What a great life. Heal the people. All right, the bottom of page 267. Thank you for likes and subs. We're pushing towards 700 reading books live from the light here in LA. Steatopigia is often during the girl's adolescence and does not develop noticeably until after her first children are born. There are hundreds, even thousands of girls of all Black African races, once thin as skeletons, who become steatopigic or steatopigic as they mature after marriage. After this morphological characteristic in Aurignacian races from Western Europe to Lake Baikal, the Soviet Union, has been challenged in order to avoid reaching the logical conclusion that would follow, namely, the area over which Negroids were scattered on the face of the globe. We'll pause right here, right? Yeah. Pause, pick back up. Bottom of page 267 when we reconvene for the last reading. Set it up perfect, right? Peace. Hey, Tinky. Hi, it's Heart Love. Thank you so much. Look as you come in, Tinky. We are finishing up this 59 reading. We're going to close out on 60. So I hope you're here for the last reading, and I will make sure I do something special for it. So, yeah, I got to put the vocabulary into this reading so that when we reconvene, we'll be able to see some of the places he's gone and taken us with understanding the anatomy of the first fossils and humans on this planet. Fine days and nights. Thank you so much. Great to see you. Oh, yes, yes, yes. One more reading left. I told you we were going to do the 1, 2, and 3. Back home. Thank you so much. Awesome. Fine days and nights. And we're live from the light here in LA. And I told you, we stay light bending. So we're always trying to uplift the people. We know that's one of the properties of plants and trees that grow. And we see the birds in the AM line up and watch the sun rise. Then when it's setting, you see birds line up, some fly, watch the sunset. True peace, true purpose, true presence. That's what meditation is for. You meditate, go to that peaceful place. That's why you'll never see me getting angry. There's no reason. I let anything that I have not seen or that is ruffling my feathers, if you will, out in a meditation, you know. Angry people, they definitely aren't meditating. They definitely aren't in tune with their nature. And so, again, purpose of this channel is to show you that balance. Yeah. Highest heart love. We shake it up on YouTube reading books. That's for real. Shake it up. You know, the crystallization is always happening, and masters are always going to be mastering. That's what I always say, right? Let that crystallization get in. Let's have a glass of love water. All those solar turns, all our friends and family, we love you so much. Thank you for being here. Yeah, Tinky, I'm very happy to have found your channel. Brings me peace. That is the purpose. That keeps my heart so light, Tinky. Thank you so much for being here. Divine days and nights. Love to all our friends and family. Solar returns. We love you so much. Divine days and nights. And to those that have elevated, send you off with angels carrying you to the light. May all those families that are affected by any of the devastation that we see, may they all be protected and covered, loved, and brought to peace. We love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Yes. Yeah. You know, someone has to be the good guy, and that's how I've always looked at it. For real. It's like I've always just grown up with superheroes and, you know, LeVar Burton reading books to us and Mr. Rogers. And it was always very clear the good guys from the bad guys, and the stories we would read, and so on and so forth, as well as in the sacred text, right? It was always very clear, it wasn't ambiguous. And so that's the life I shine is you know you're getting a good guy. You know you're getting the superheroes. You know you're getting a bringer of light. Because as archangels, we only take orders from the Most High. Yeah, you know. And so my whole purpose is driven in being honorable and shining the light, healing the people. I love you. Ay, 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 ay. Love, 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 love. You. Ay, 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 ay. Love, 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 love you. You know it, because I love myself. I love you and I love me. Oh, it's hard, love. I'm getting close to the end of here. And so, yeah, it's time to put out a new book. I'm playing in overtime on this world. Hi, it's hard, love. I'll see you soon. Peace, peace.